What do you like the most about your home? Actually, I love almost the corners in my house. If I have to pick the top one I prefer the most, I would say that I am really into the design of my house. My house has a flawless design, which makes it look like a Western castle, and there are a majority of people who fall in love with its beauty at the first sight. What are the differences between the house where you are living and the place you lived when you were a child? I reckon that the main difference between the old house and the present house is that my house experienced some terms of refurbishments, and now my house is enlarged and it is such a spacious area which is suitable for four people to live comfortably. What is your house look like in the future? Well, honestly speaking, I have an intention to move to an apartment which is located in the center of Ho Chi Minh City because it is quite convenient for me to go to work on a daily basis, and I am a girl. I desire to decorate my apartment with gentle colors like light blue or pink. And I also intend to decorate this apartment with a lot of pictures on the wall and some kind of flowers. How do you feel when somebody joke with you? To be honest, I am really into joking, and I have to admit that I feel overjoyed when somebody tell me a joke. This feeling is so great because it makes me laugh. Are you good at joking? I have to admit that I don't have a natural talent for joking. Having said that, I sometimes Im- im- imitate some funny story from the internet, particularly in Facebook, and I regularly tell it to my friends, and they definitely make them laugh. Do a fun com- do a fun comedy shows broadcast. Oh, actually, I don't know exact answer for this question because I rarely watch the comedy shows, but it I guess these kind of shows are broadcasted regularly because this kind of program are the fantastic method to help people let off steam after working or studying, and they could relax effectively. Have you ever watched any comedy live show? No, I have never ever watched any kind of show because I am not really into watching it. Instead, I prefer going to the cinema and watch the cartoon films or blockbuster films. What types of movies are popular shown in cinema in Vietnam? Well, I think there are various movies which are popular in the cinema in Vietnam. For example, they are the Hollywood movies like blockbuster or adventures series. On Moreover, they could be a Chinese cartoon or Japanese cartoon because Vietnamese people, especially the children, really into watching these kind of cartoons. What kinds of films do the elder prefer? I reckon that the elderly people love watching historic films because these kind of films contain a lot of meaningful content and they could find it easy to remember back the past, especially the war period. Apart from the elder, do youngsters watch historic films? I think it is quite different. I think it is quite difficult to give the exact answer yes or no for this question. Having said that, I guess a part of youngsters don't prefer watching these kind of films because they don't have a real information, the real idea about these films. They just read they just read the information and gain the knowledge through the internet and from the books. So I think they prefer the reality films which are produced from the reality life. Why do Vietnamese people love watching war movie, though they are the winner in this world? I have to admit that it is such a intriguing question for me, and it is not an area of my interest. But I guess the main reason for this phenomenon is that people want to get insights, more knowledge in this film they because in the past they didn't have any they didn't have any chance to experience what happens during the war, and they have a passion for for knowing about what exactly happened in this period, and they also want to give their respect for the soldier through watching the historic movie. Describe a movie that makes you think a lot. Well, it's such an interesting topic today. When it comes to an unforgettable movie, the film, namely Me Before You, immediately springs to my mind. I would like to share you about this movie, and I remember this film vividly, although I had watched it 3 years ago. This movie was about the man who was not able to walk after experiencing a serious motorbike accident, and there was a little girl who became to his assistant after a long period living under the same roof. They finally fell in love each other. Having said that, because of his disability, he was not confident himself, and he desperate this life because before because before the accident he was a successful man and he had all things that other people admired. So he was dissatisfied with the current life and he finally decided to move to Sweden to end of his life. You know, you could imagine that this was a sad ending movie and I cried a lot during the time watching it.